Mitch Marner is a loser. What has he done to prove otherwise that he's not a loser? At least with Austin Matthews, you at least could say, at least we could see him trying in the playoffs. At least we could see him scoring goals. He's doing his job, right? Mitch Marner puts up, and we've talked about it so many times, the most hollow amount of stats. He has 600 career NHL points, Albert.
Fastest to 600 in franchise history.
But let me ask you, what's the lasting impact of Mitch Marner has as a Toronto Maple Leaf? Can you think of one shining moment or one moment where you can be like, Mitch Marner, that guy did something?
He's a talented player.
That's
great regular season player.
He's a talented player.
If he retired today, he's not really being remembered for a whole lot of winning.
You're not going to be remembered for really. You're going to be known as a guy who put up a whole lot of stats but didn't do much else, right? Was he a leader? I don't think Mitch Marner is a leader. I don't think Mitch Marner, and again, the whole media thing, sure, he's not great with the media and all that. He's not. But you have no problem being in Red Bull commercials. You have no problem being on any other commercial you want to be on.
That's different.
You have no problem, knowing when the cameras are doing those stupid dances after you win a game, right? Or grittying in practice, right? You're the guy who apparently your dad wanted you to be captain of the Toronto Maple Leafs. You have no resemblance of being a captain. I know I bang on John Tavares a lot, but at least John Tavares, maybe in the locker room, resembles somewhat of a leader, right? Mitch Marner has the wrong mentality to be a Toronto Maple Leaf. Mitch Marner has the wrong mentality to play in a Canadian market. You know where Mitch Marner would do great? Somewhere in the States where nobody gives a rip about hockey. That's where he'll do great because he can fly under the radar. He can just do whatever he wants to do. Red Bull can send him all the Red Bull they want. He can live his life, make his money, all that stuff, put up as much hollow stats as he wants. But to be in Toronto, in a Canadian market, and to be making that much amount of money and never have any accountabilities for yourself, for your teammates, especially in a slump like this, it's unacceptable.
And you would think out of any of the players in that dressing room who should understand this fan base and this market more, it's the guy who was born and raised here. And he always has an issue with the media and people outside the organization. Listen to this next clip. He was asked what gives him encouragement for the Leafs turning it around coming up in the next few games.
Because we're a great hockey team. And we got to ignore what everyone else says. We know we're a great hockey team. We show it every night. I mean, these last 4 games that we've had leads, we've played some awesome hockey, some great hockey. Like I just said, stuff goes your way sometimes, stuff doesn't. So for us, we just can't get frustrated at each other. We know we're doing the right things. We're talking a lot, communicating well on the ice, off the ice, and it's going to come. So stay patient with it. Don't let anything outside of us frustrate us or get us, angry. Just got to do what we do.
Do you feel frustration seeping in?
No, but I think, a lot of people on the outside are trying to do that. So that's how it goes. For us, we know we're doing right things. And, again tonight we did a lot of right things, did a lot of good things. That's why it sucks when it slips away like this.
His default is always this us against the world mentality. And I'm completely fine with that because I think that can work sometimes. And coaches in every sport have used that as a rallying point. But the problem is he's been using this, and the team on the ice doesn't use it as a rallying point. They just keep doing the same thing over and over again. This is his default, too. It's always like, people on the outside are, they're saying this, they're saying that. Come on, Mitch, dude. You know this market. You know what's up. This is how it is. If you don't perform, you're going to get criticized. God, if you sneeze the wrong way, you'll get criticized and questioned for it. That's just how it is in this market. I hate seeing that. It happens all the time. Whenever things aren't going right for the Toronto Maple Leafs, Mitch Marner's in front of the camera, probably reluctantly, and he's saying the exact same thing over and over and over again. And you cannot say it, and I've heard it throughout the organization from Morgan Rielly to Austin Matthews, John Tavares, Martin Jones, that they're playing great hockey. You're not playing great hockey at the moment. What? Putting together 1 or 2 periods per game is great hockey? That's not great hockey. Great hockey is getting a lead and finishing the game with that lead and winning that game. That's great hockey and doing it consistently. Not what you guys are doing. You guys have periods of really good, solid hockey. There's no great in that locker room. The Leafs have not been great since what?
1967, Albert.
Well, since they won a cup. But they really haven't been a great team in a long time. And during this Core 4 era, there's been no great. So I hate hearing we're playing great hockey. You're playing really good hockey, but not good enough to win games. And not good enough for people to really back this team and say, you know what? I watched how this team plays. I see their attitude. I see how they get it done on the ice. This is a team that I can fully support that I think is going to win the Stanley Cup. The Leafs, that's not the Toronto Maple Leafs. It isn't. I'm sorry.
Albert, you know what? You call me Johnny Instagram quotes. I actually have my first Instagram quote I want to bring to this podcast. Hard work without talent is a shame, but talent without hard work is a tragedy. The Leafs have all the talent in the world, but these guys don't work hard enough, and it's a damn tragedy. You are not a great team, Mitch Marner. I'm sorry. I don't know what your definition of great is, but the standard should be much higher than that. What great team do you know wins one playoff round in 15, whatever the hell it was, 16 years, whatever the number was, right? And thinks that you did something. You did nothing, right? What team thinks that by putting up a bunch of 100-point regular seasons means you're a great team? It doesn't mean anything. Hell, I've watched the Canucks put up how many 100-point seasons, win the President's trophies, and they didn't do shit with it.
We need a bell. We need a bell every time we say Canucks. The standard in hockey is to lift the Stanley Cup. It's to put a banner up at Scotiabank Arena. The Toronto Raptors, as much as I bang on them, at least they put a banner up before when HD TV was around, right? Like Mitch Marner, I don't know what the hell you are thinking or what type of us against the world mentality you're trying to put, narrative you're trying to push. Nobody hates you. You are beloved in the city of Toronto. You are Mitch Marner playing. Everybody loves you, right? Just this constant whining and complaining and no accountability. Albert, do you think your boy Wendell Clark would have done that? Do you think Doug Gilmour would have done that? Hell, Matt Sundin showed more accountability than you, Mitch Marner. We got to stop comparing these players to them, though.
But again,
I get what you're saying.
It makes no. But I saw Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, put it on their shoulders that they have to do better, right? I've seen Sidney Crosby, Alex Ovechkin, all these great players don't whine, bitch, and complain like Mitch Marner does and deflect. They don't. If you are supposed to be a guy who wants to make this amount of money, be classified as a superstar in the NHL, take some accountability, become a leader. Hell, I've seen Austin Matthews take accountability more than Mitch Marner. And again, Mitch Marner's mentality, his way with the media, his this, that, and it doesn't work if you want to win. William Nylander, again, at least he shows some physicality in the playoffs, right? It has become so glaringly obvious to me this season that Mitch Marner cannot be with the Toronto Maple Leafs if they want to win a Stanley Cup. He cannot. He does not have the right mentality to be in a prominent role on a team that wants to win. He just is not accountable enough. He does not. He blames on everybody else instead of putting it on his own shoulders. And that will never, ever work, especially in a Canadian market like Toronto. Never.
You feel good?
I think he's going to get traded to Philadelphia.
That looked like it was weighing on you, huh? A little bit.
I hate Mitch Marner.
A lot of people do. A lot of people do.
I feel so bad for Leaf fans because...
But you know what's so interesting? It's split within the fan base. Because I really feel like 50% of the fan base, from what I've seen, they love Mitch Marner. The other 50, not so much. He splits. He splits opinion.
He's a polarizing player. I get it.
He really is.
But let me ask you this, Albert. Would you rather have a guy like Ryan O'Reilly, right?
He was here,
right? But I would rather have two Ryan O'Reillys than one Mitch Marner, right? Like I would rather have even somewhat less of that. I'd rather have guys that are accountable, that will be a leader, that will show some type of passion and desire. Not some guy that's just gonna go in front of the media and deflect and throw on the media. The media is not out there blowing leads. That's you. You are out there blowing leads. You're out there choking in the playoffs every year, not the media. You can't blame the media as much as you want. Now, again, in certain instances, you can blame the media. But when it comes to on-ice performance, right, that's on you. You're getting paid $11 million to play this game. You need to do better.